Good morning. Just trying to get everything plugged in here. Got a bunch of stuff set up on YouTube last night. I think I got the order correct. The order might be correct. And really, I only did the order for basically the past 3 months. Everything beyond that is just kind of a grab bag. Morning, Zenocron. How are you doing? I'm doing alright. I'm doing well. Breakfast, coffee. How'd you get going? Just ready. Funny, now I feel like I have to speak more clearly because YouTube is doing the text-to-speech thing for those videos. And if I don't speak clearly, they can't catch it. I've thought of going through their text-to-speech stuff. You can download the VTT files afterwards and correct them, I think. They also have a neat little UI that I hadn't seen before yesterday on setting those up. I'd love it if text-to-speech worked here. Okay. That is going to kick in. Say, I am trying to figure out what the dates were in videos. Speech to text. Yes, no. I said it backwards. Yeah. Speech to text. Well, I think also that some people do that speech to text as it's being encoded, so like it's basically baked into the stream. I don't like that because you can't go back and correct it later. It would be great for, you know, stuff like this, but I think that if somebody really wanted to watch this and needed it, they might have to miss the live portion and wait for it to get onto YouTube, which now I'm probably just going to be managing that daily. Maybe, beginning of my lunch every day, make sure that it's uploaded and tagged correctly, etc. So there's more to do than just like export it to YouTube. Having it in playlists, all sorts of stuff. Not baked into the stream. Oh, interesting. Does it have like the... Was it the 508 extensions? Oh, this is wrong size window. And the other thing that I think I could benefit from is on-screen chat. Because sometimes I'll refer to things that are off stream. All right. I don't remember if RTMP has the ability to encode that information. Because it's not part of the MP4 stream. And that's really just a video wrapper. I think it's a separate bit of information that goes along with it. Hey, good morning, Pandemic Rust. Happy Tuesday. And we didn't do our daily bad joke. We're starting to recycle these. I need a new catalog here. How do you make an egg giggle? Utility yolk. Oh. So bad. All right. So if you remember from yesterday, we were looking at some of these token streams, and if you caught Musean's stream, Musean did this much faster. And I think in a more quote-unquote correct way. Actually, I'll just say their code was much better than mine. So we'll link to that real quick. So do I still have? I do. Portions of it. Let's see. No, I'm not using Musean's. This one. Oh, and then there's also Detolne's one as well. So the one that David Tolne did, if I could find the right window, it's basically over here. Their GitHub account / sequence macro. And then Musean's parser. Much, much nicer. So this isn't the final one that I had. There were some others. Let's see, did I have that in Chrome? I'm going to choose the right revision. I don't know. And there's also this one. And I like the way that their structure is set up here. They have a sequence, the identifier, the range, the rest. That's so clean. And part of the magic that I was missing yesterday was this rest.parse. Musean does use the braced macro here and parses the rest out. So. I feel like they've got inline function with an inline function, which is fine in Rust. They call parse range here, passing the stream here, so that it reads really, really nicely. Parse U64 is here, so you can tell. I mean, even though it's just a single line that they're tossing in there, it reads like a book. Start, so parse U64. Inclusive is a parse inclusive. The end, so parse U64 plus whether or not it's inclusive. That's neat. And for those of you that have not seen it, or are not in the Discord, I should probably set this up. Yeah, Halstead. I think it's this URL. Oh, that's not it. User be Halstead. That's funny. User says one has 15,000 subscribers. All right. Because you've asked, we have the videos for, I don't know, there's like 180 videos in here now. I have them set up in playlists. So September, June, July, August, September. Plus some specialized ones. I only have one specialized playlist for the proc-macro workshop, which we're working on right now. And if this hits, yes, I forget, there's some sort of criteria. If I can reach that criteria, I can actually change that to /Mr. Halsey or something. We can set that over there for now. All right, so now we have the YouTube command inside of there. And that's where those videos will go. So if you ever miss something, the forever storage is over on YouTube. All right, now we've got some borrow issues in here. You think it's that one? Oh, I think I've seen that. Because I did look into doing this before. I remember trying to set that up, but I had an issue with it. All right, I'll have to look into that again. So, this stuff again. We could do this in two groups. One being maybe a first pass and then a second pass. Yeah, the one where we end up replacing some of these. That's right, we were going to peak 3 times. Oh, thank you, Pandemic Rust. Yeah, getting those. It's funny because the I don't know. It just seems like, well, I never thought that I would have hundreds of hours of content on YouTube, right? Like that's just, and I can't personally see people going through and watching them end to end. I can see people using them like as, oh, I don't know, maybe kind of as they're doing other things, like having it on like a second monitor or something. But for me, it's difficult. Alright, so we've got our sequence, our start and our end, basically our range. We end up calling expand. That's working. And we try to map the tokens over and over again. The problem here is that this iterator is going to run dry as it goes through here. What do we call expand? Here, we pass in the tokens. So yeah, last night my wife actually was the first subscriber to my YouTube stream. Last night, I showed her the, that there were some videos up there. And she went and subscribed, and then I finished putting the videos up there. So she ended up this morning with over 100 notifications for the channel because I wasn't done setting it up.
It's like you're paralyzed, can't move cause you're terrified. Mind inside a paradigm where you don't even dare to try. So you just lay at night, wide awake with grandeur.
So her like normal daily view is she's doing some of the chores. It was hard to find.
Get a corporate job and make 100K out of school. The music still be working at it with your far from perfect habits. I wish that I could tell you that everything will be fine. But I'm not really sure I'm qualified to, because I thought I'd know what to say by now. And honestly,
yeah, this isn't gonna work. This here is going to be an iterator, but I don't think that we can actually clone that. And it's going to depend on the kind of an iterator to know whether or not it's clonable.
I've been productive, but time doesn't wait, so I'm just missing moments. I'm getting older without getting any closer. Every week I board another flight that takes me farther from my goals and leaves me at a destination that is hardly like a home. So now I'm out of sorts and feeling out of pocket. I'm drifting out of port.
And if you want to see what pretty dot files look like, that's Pandemic Rust. Thank you, Xenocron, for that.
If I go out, I don't know if there's a lot who'd miss me. Hopefully I'll really have a soulmate, so at least I'll have a body beside mine to be rotting with me. My mind has been making all these obstacles. Some days I wake up and I feel like I'm unstoppable. And then the
it's just not.
I feel like it's all impossible. The world is at my fingers, but there's nowhere else I want to go. And last night I finally hit my limit.
I am still using COC. I am.
Punching walls and throwing keys, glass shards and broken screens. I couldn't keep blaming life for problems, cause I know it's me, the root of all these issues.
I haven't checked recently to see where it ended up. The LSP for the NeoVim LSP. I felt a little rough, and I would like to get in and experiment with it a little bit more, but I could spend days setting stuff up like that, and I can't afford to spend that time going forward and rolling back right now. So yeah. So where is this actually being used? Okay, let's look at this again. Stream.peak occurs. Oh, borrow occurs. Could use enclosure. Ah. It's the peak that's doing it?
my voice now because I'm tired of yelling. Nobody's buying your charade, so why you trying to sell it? Said it's affecting those who love you and believe in you, the ones who want to see you do
Okay,
the shit
because
that
we're
you've been meaning to. So treat this like you want it or get treated for this problem. You can't go through life happy
interesting.
with clouds around your conscience. You know you need to live each day deliberate, cause regret is unforgiving. You got choices, now show me which one is it. And I'm not worried about the numbers or the press of the strings.
So how do we do that then?
That you can focus on your dreams. Or else just give it up and
We
move
have an
on.
iterator.
Pack your bags and put your suit on.
It's peekable. Yeah, Zenocron, don't get me wrong, I would like to use the other one. But the next time I'm going to be able to even try it out is going to be next quarter. You remember the scene in, oh, what is it? I forget what movie it was. But they basically limit business decisions to like once a quarter. It's like my Vim config. I will only touch it once a quarter. Although I do update the plugins all the time, the config, once a quarter. That's it. I see. Because it's like that, we can't actually use the map like this. We're collecting this into a token stream, aren't we? Yes. Let's try and do it for a while. While it's some tree. Like so. Okay. Now that needs to be collected. I don't think token stream is what is it, extendable? I need a token stream 2 for that? Oh, it is, token stream. We just create one, right? Yes. Yes, we can. Okay. Wait, what is this? Oh, equals. I need equals. Equals stream.next. Okay. Now each one of these is going to be assigned to that tree value. And then Needs to be mutable. Yep. Alright. Save it again. Okay, now we can do the peak inside of there, which is nice, because it's not being moved into the closure, because we don't have a closure. What was the other way I was going to do with this? Oh, that's right, iterating over it twice. Which we could do. Basically, the first time not doing anything with the groups, and the second time just expanding the groups. Alright, but this still didn't solve the other question though, did it? And the other question. What is the other question? How do we clone these? How do we have multiple bodies? Where's expand? Inside of expand, or we call replace, we want this to happen multiple times, but if we pass an iterator in, basically that cursor just goes forward, it goes to the end, and then the next time we call this, it's exhausted. I do not think that that body is being cloned or copied. Which is kind of weird because we could take the token stream, or what is it here? This iterator into a token stream, and then clone that, and then take that into an iterator. Which would work. It's a little weird though. Oh, let's pull that out into a local variable. Will need to be mutably borrowed for that. Okay. That's where we parse the sequence without using the parse stuff. Okay. And replace. And if we do it here, it's going to feel kind of kludgy. Peek and a poke. There's a push. No. So I don't think there's a poke on an iterator. Iterators, they don't have poke. Oh, the arrow. Yeah, the arrow is actually from the font I'm using. It has what are called ligatures. So if I type that, and they're next to each other, it becomes something special. Same with equals, or triple equals, or not equals. All right. I like it. I do. Some programs support ligatures, some don't. So right now we're in a terminal. It's called Kitty, and Kitty supports supports ligatures. Make clean and such. So this is the part that I'm struggling with at the moment. Struggling in that, like, I've gone through a week of proc-macros, and it has been challenging. So I'm looking to get back onto the game because a week of game development is basically the cost of this for me. So while I want to just go through and put this right in here and make it done, I also want to try to make it a little cleaner. Because I think I've gotten into a bad habit of not taking the time to make things readable. So let's try it out. I know that there's going to be some waste in processing because we're going to go through this twice. Well, it's either that or Morning, John DeSan Donato. How you doing? Well, we process the tree once. Is there another way? Because here we're doing a while at sum, which means that our visibility into this is basically just one at a time. And if we did it with a window first, might be a little cleaner. Oh my, I'm doing pretty well. Today's Wednesday, so happy Wednesday. Did I say Tuesday earlier? I meant Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Proc-macros. Oh yeah, check this out. We put everything, all of your stream viewing needs are over there. That's way too much stuff I did last night. I should have been doing other stuff. All right, we're gonna go through this in two passes. The first one, let's see, why didn't we use the window? Because we were using an iterator and combinators. All right. Oh, that's right. Because we have an iterator, we can't use window. Ah, drat. Okay. I'm gonna do it here for now. And then we'll look at how other people did this. All right. So if we have an ident by pound followed by our from ident, and that'll be replaced. So if those conditions are met, then we replace that, and instead of, let's see, our peaks would have been successful at this point, and we would call next twice. Actually, we already know what that is. That's our from ident. That's the end. So given those three, we want to push a very specific one as a result. So in this case, we want to return token tree ident. And this ident was it format ident? Yeah, format ident. So it'll be whatever the first token is, the original ident, followed by the n, or we're taking it to. So this is the ident way up here, followed by what we're taking this to. We're returning from the function, not from the match. And I have some kind of compound statements here that is going to make this a little bit more challenging. Oh, how would you do this in Rust? Because we can't return there. We're just trying to assign something to the local. Guess we could push and continue. Yeah. No method named span found for ident fragment adapter. What can we do with an ident? We can create a new one, given a string. We use regular format for that. Then we have to get the span, and this is what it's having trouble with also, is that this too is a literal. If we replace that with an ident here, oh, because in some places we do have to return the literal token. Proc-macro ident fragment is not satisfied. The trait, quote, ident fragment is not implemented for proc-macro ident. Is it? Let's see, where is ident fragment? Quote. And that's proc-macro 2 ident. Oh, but this is a literal. we even need format ident here? We just want to create an ident. Let's look at the basics here. So if we're just creating an ident, we need a string and a span. We could give it a brand new empty span. Format. Toss that on there. So that's going to be a string. As stir. Oh, but we can't create spans, can we? Just use somebody else's. Oh my goodness, is that not? That is not compiling, is it? No. Well, kind of. The test passed. Macro expansion ignores the curly brace token and any following. Well, yeah. I think the problem here is that, well, we didn't use the braces macro. And that was the first way that we were attempting this. We used to have parse set up for this. And having parse on that seems like it would work. It would be nice. We could put that back. Impl parse for that, and then we get the token, the braces taken care of. We also get this cleaned up. I mean, I think the parses way is probably the best way to go here. That's the direction I think I would like to head in. So, I mean, it's clean, it intuitively makes sense, it's easy to read, probably easier to maintain. Now, if we try to pull another token from here, we could. This could be a brace, something. Is that going to be a literal? What is it going to be though? Punctuation. And if it's similar to that, and if it's something other than that bracket there, we need to create an error and return the error. All right, we'll try this. Now, that last token cannot find function F1 in this case. Huh. O4. So this is expecting curly brace right there. Oh, that's fantastic. It says it's expecting curly brace on the curly brace. I like how the errors work. Is it a group, actually? No, it would have been a punctuation. Because it fell into that branch in order to get the error. Let's debug that. All right. So what was it that we had? Oh, it's a group with delimiter being brace. Fine. That makes sense. Let's see, do they have anything useful in there? what can we do with the delimiter? We can check to see if it's a certain kind. So we'd use the matches macro there. I mean, we're already there. Delimiter. Brace. Group has delimiter. With an I. Those are really handy. All right. Let's see what it expands to. Nothing. All right, at least we're not getting the braces error anymore. That's good. That's really good. But the body here, that's the end of the tokens. Because that's a group. I mean, we have to return basically the body of brace. The stream here from that group is what needs to be basically duplicated later. Return that. So yeah, this is unimplemented for now. Create field. Ooh, nice. Let's go look at that. Nice. I did it just fine. Just fine. Alright, but the problem we're going to have now is that after this we would have exhausted the tokens. So instead of using mutable tokens here, we have to use body off of sequence. Let's go to expand. There's nothing else on there. It's already a token stream. Clone it, iterate. Oh, expected one of left bracket or pound sign. Why? What are we expanding to? Now, why is this? This is one of those things in proc-macros that I've run into multiple times, and that I'm not clear to what is actually generating the error. Only that, like, I have to keep in mind what were my last set of changes and how does it affect this. So in here, our token stream at this point, we debug that real quick. Oh, it said. Let's see what's actually coming in on body. So we have a token stream, function f, pound n, parentheses. Okay, so this might actually be hitting. This might be hitting our other code. So inside of wrong direction. Here. Let's go back to replace. So we come through, function f pound n, and we get the group. So we get parentheses minus what? Oh, I see. Look at the parentheses, those elements. I see. No. So I think it's coming into here. I think it's providing something here that it doesn't want. It's creating some other sort of error. I think we're supposed to be generating an identifier, so that I think is correct. There's a lot of unknowns in my head right now. At least the coffee's good today. Oh, it didn't hit that. Really? Just make coffee index 1. Yes. Okay, so this code isn't being run, which is why this is failing. We know that it's coming to the ident here. And if we peek, this maybe pound. Let's check that one. Not the absolute best, but maybe a few notches down. Yeah, I think mine's the same way. I like that coffee is so variable, right? Depending on how you make it, just having the water a few degrees different changes how the coffee is. Or how long the grind is in the liquid. Here's a siphon, coffee siphon. As well as proportion, yeah, everything about it. Do something like this here. Actually, that's exactly it. Wow, would have thought? And it works really well. I like that I'm not constantly like shelling out cash for filters on these. Sometimes you drink bee coffee, good quality beans. Oh, bulk coffee. Oh, yeah. I worked with a guy once that actually roasted his own beans. He had come up with a little roaster and had a whole process for it. So he'd buy green coffee. All right. Let's see, is this one? We should still see the pounds. Okay, so that is happening, but we're not getting into here. Debugging proc macros, I have to say, is not the most exciting thing in the world. Oh, you've seen it done on a small coffee farm in Hawaii. We have a local roaster here that is my absolute favorite. Okay, so we didn't make it from here. Alright, let's debug that. Because that peak is not giving us the right thing. Morning, Cap Peasant. How are you doing? Is it giving us the same value again? Maybe from. So we did the peak. And if we peak twice, do we go 2 forward? Oh, we're getting the same pound sign. Bah. Seems like you're gonna have to try the American style of making coffee. Uh-oh. Patient says to the doctor, "Doctor, doctor, my leg keeps asking me for money." Doctor responds, "Looks like it's broke." Oh, that's a good one. Oh, you only do espresso. Yeah. Well, I think we just found a big flaw in my plan. And that peak does not seem to have to be its own iterator. Guess we could advance it. Then don't go like this. Doctor, my arm hurts when I go like this. Well, then don't go like that. Ah, yes. Xenocron. Let's see. Cat peasant. Let's see. There. Oh, yeah. And Cat peasant, the last one you did was, did you hear about the guy who got his left side chopped off? He's alright now. That one went over really well with the kids. You like that one. And when I say that, I mean like verbal groan. Yeah, I am not a fan of this pattern. I really think that we should be using a window on this. That was you, yes. I have it recorded. And the one before that was... Did you hear about the Pillsbury Doughboy? He died of a yeast infection. Yes, espresso is hard to do. I don't know which one's harder though. I mean, I've only heard of manual pulling espresso. So if people are always relying on machines, then how hard is espresso, right? I mean, there used to be like proper used to have a manual pull. Where is it? And you'd have to manage the pressure correctly and all that with big lever and dang, those look that looks so pretty. Wow. And just think, if that tank ruptures, little pieces of metal are going all over. It's frightening. Alright. Back to where we were. Why is it? It's the same again. Why is it the same? Alright, do it twice. What? Why are we getting two? Why are we getting two? There's only one in here. Why do we get 2 pound signs? So if we put this back, and we peek twice, then it all works magically. Yes? Did I misinterpret the previous test? So now we're getting N there. And if we comment out one of these, okay. Nope, we just had to, I guess peek just gives you access to the next one. I'll have to look at peekable again. Returns an optional reference to the next element. I see. There's always just the next one. Ooh, nightly only. All right, and then we got the panic. Yes. Well, at least we learned a little bit about peaking iterators. They only let you go so far forward. By that, we mean the next one. Let's make sure the rest of these work. Good. They all pass. So far, a macro has repeated the entire loop body. This is not sufficient for some use cases because there are restrictions on the syntactic position that macro invocations can appear in. For example, the Rust grammar would not allow the caller to write this, because this is just not a legal place to put a macro call. I see. Instead, we will implement a way for the caller to designate a specific part of a macro input to be repeated, so that anything outside that part does not get repeated. Interesting. Alright, so the invocation below should expand to that. Optionally, allow for there to be multiple separate sections. Although the test suite does not exercise this case, these sections will each need to be repeated according to the same loop bounds. Alright, I think at this point, I'm kind of getting a little bit more comfortable with these. The way that this has ended up over here is not sitting very well with me. So I think it'd be nice to go through and update these. But at the moment, we're going to look at the way that some people have done it. So this is using the parse trait, the parse API for this. And this is very, very similar to what we had in the beginning. Actually, it's much cleaner than what we had in the beginning. Let's admit that up front. It's much cleaner. The piece that we were missing before was really this section here, or you could call parse on the parse input, on the parse stream. Wow. Implemented on foreign types. It's on token stream here. Oh, and do you get token stream back from... Oops, where were we? Rest and input. Okay. And that would have been a token stream that we parse this out as. Let's look at the braced macro one more time. Because how does it know? I get that this is a token stream too. Because that little bit of magic there, I want to understand better. So parse takes input stream. This is not the right one. It is just calling parse, and it'll take it to a token stream. Wow. So it's calling parse just like the rest of these. You can just drain it to the token stream. Oh, where's proc-macro? Is it dash dash? Oh, this is awful. Alright, somebody messed up their CSS. Is it dark reader? Oh, whatever I did, undo that. No, not dark reader. Does it just not work in Firefox? Alright. And the other way that it's done, I'm going to turn dark viewer back on, dark reader. Where is it used? Okay, sequence. Ah, here it is. So it takes a token stream. Goes into an iterator. Require ident. Interesting. Is that in parse? So you get the next token. It's either syntax other expected ident. It's like there are so many different ways to do all of this stuff. It's just amazing. And where's next token? Let's keep drilling through here. Okay, or else unexpected end of input. Makes sense. Call site. That's new. We briefly saw that. The span of the invocation of the current procedural macro. Okay. Identifiers created with this span will be resolved as if they were written directly at the macro call location. Syntax error. Impulse into compiler error. Interesting, look at that. So this, they have a struct and they just implement. Token stream from iter vec. So they have a vector of elements. Compile error. Exclamation. I wonder why they have to do this. Like, why the group? I get that it's a literal string. Okay. It says span of that. Good, good. This I don't understand. Like, why are they doing this? So if you get an error, we'll expand this error into compile error. Is that the only place? That is. Wow. So what does this mean? That means that whatever they were doing here gave the correct errors on the output side. Hmm. Compiler built in. Interesting. All right. Well, I'm going to take a break from doing the proc-macro workshop for now. I think I might come back to it later. But at this point, I'm going to go into something else. Let's go back to where we had been. Goodness. Forever ago. Build to read. GDNative. Oh, interesting. Yeah, some of that changed. Yeah, it's inside the Rust directory now too. Where is Euclid? Oh, did it not move? Ah. There we go. Let's see, and at this point, I forget what we were doing. Had we been working on GDNative before? Maybe. All right. So that got the rest of those. Remove leftover that, yep. Okay. We had been where? I think I'm starting to remember. We were looking at GDNative along with, oops, QDNative, no, GDNative. That's neat. Where's the docs? Documentation. I think we've been looking at native script. This over here. There were some traits. Traits was a native class. Okay, here I'm searching for native and GDNative. Oh my goodness. I had to take a little bit of a break from going through the proc-macro workshop. It was just a little overwhelming. So we were back over here. It's funny. There's this little bit of code, and we were trying to expand it a little. So we're also picking up from like forever ago, which is probably just a week, where we're looking at how to build up a little bit more here. There's these before set, after get, etc. These options. I'm trying to remember how these wire up into the game. I think that this is actually part of the builder. So if you go through and look at one of the builders, I think it's the property builder, no, the class builder. Actually, it might be the property builder. They have all of these different values here, but they don't. So you can basically specify a getter and setter. Actually, where's this with hint? That's actually what I want. It's with a hint. Am I using the wrong one? We're on derive native class. Parse derive input. And this is supposed to be generating a token stream. I don't remember who calls this. Ah, there. So going from the proc-macro workshop into this. Alright, we learned that there are 3 different types of macros. Derived macros, function macros, and the other kind of macros. So what is that other kind? Attribute macros. That's what it was. So function-like ones, attributes, and other. So this is a derive one, in which case we take the token stream and we can generate more code for it, but we cannot replace code using this. So given that token stream, parse derive input, and what is this data? It's a derive data. Interesting. Oops, not a darse, a parse. So we get the call side. And we try to parse a derive input. Okay. We have attributes, visibility, the ident of the struct, generics, and some data. Now where does this implement? What? What is this AST struct? They're using macros. They're using macros to make macros. Oh, no. This, well, that's, regardless, that's inside of sin. Okay, so if we come back out, basically, okay. They're using something out of sin, which is this derive input. Got it. Then it either compiles or it doesn't, which is fine. If we look at that derive info. Okay. And that bails out early. Otherwise, we keep the ident, attributes. We look for specific elements. Okay. Read base class. Register callback. Register with, okay. Make sure it's a struct. I haven't found any panics yet. This is good. So then we have struct data here. Native class derived macro only works on structs. Find all fields with property attributes. So if we have fields and we iterate through the named fields, all right. If we were to look at some of our code, now inside of legacy, we were probably looking at legacy Rust, trying to create something that needed oh, I'm in the wrong search. There's a lot of register functions, but we want the register with. I'm guessing that it was something having to do with the islands that we were working on, not register signals, not change scene or scene changer. Oh, that's right. We were kind of looking at stuff like this. Now we wanted to create a way that was simpler to set up some of these, because we were trying to extract this out. All right. Or would it be property? That's where we were. We were in path, trying to use this. And we were going to extend this property so that we'd add hints. That's where we were. So if we're coming down through here and we look to see if we're getting the property attribute, if it's just a path, we're fine. Or you get the default basically. Otherwise, get the adder args builder, and we start using the property adder args builder here. Okay, that is making sense. And then for everything inside of here, we're args and nested. All right, what is a nested meta? It's also out of sin. Element of a compile time attribute list. Structured meta item. Like the copy and derived copy, which would be nested meta : path. So in this case, if it's a meta and it's a name value, like feature equals nightly. Oh wow, they have a lot of stuff in sin. Where is this stuff? We just went through those elements and didn't. Meta list, nested meta. Nice. That could have been useful before. So we get the name value pair, keep a reference to the pair, and we extend that with once iter for the pair. That's funny, they use iter once, I use some. I don't know if there's one's better than the other. I mean, iter once is probably better to read. So what are we doing with this? Property args, get or insert with. There's our property args builder. We were going to add something here. That's right. We didn't know what a lit was, a path, etc. at the time. But where is the output for this? There's properties. Property args. Okay, so there's something special about this property args bit. Get or insert with on property args. What type is that? Property attribute args builder. That's a mouthful. Alright, so that somehow comes into there. What does this get or insert with off of an option? Okay. Inserts a value computed from F into the option if is none, then returns immutable reference to the contained value. Man, Rust is vast. Like the Rust standards library is just gigantic. I see. So here, we get the existing one, or we insert it using this function, the default function. All right, now I see how it gets wired together. That makes sense. And then we use it here and extend the property args builder. Check out Python sometimes. Oh, no. My brain can only take so much. Oh, and patent rules, check it out. I spent way too much time last night. For a long time on the stream, Twitch was having some issue where you couldn't set up new YouTube associations. So the first, I don't know, 6 months of my stream, I don't have recordings of. And then the next 3 months, I didn't actually put dates on them. And then the 3 months following, I did put dates on them, but kind of in odd orders. I think I corrected them all last night. So if you do go through any of those, use the playlists because those are in correct order. But yeah, that was a lot of time. Should be easier to maintain now. All right, so we have a property args builder. And we call extend on the property args builder. Here's extend. Yeah, people have been asking for the recordings, and Twitch only keeps them for so long. So we get the pair. Should be a single identifier. I'll expect. I see, this is where the panics are happening. Maybe we can't use extend here. Is it possible for extend to fail? Oh, you were teaching a class Python. Speaking is hard. You were teaching Python. They needed to use Python to use Telnet. They asked me if it was possible. And in a moment of supreme confidence, I said, sure. Only to find out that Telnet is built into the standard library. It was import Telnet. Oh, that's great. I thought for sure you were going to be up all night. 10 minutes later, done. Oh, that's great. That's really cool. I think somebody used extend here when they shouldn't have, because then they have all these panics and can't handle the errors correctly. They could have done something else here, like this. Right. I wonder where else this is used. Property args builder. Requesting references. Good luck, COC. And Rust Analyzer. All right, let's change this. I mean, if nobody ever uses this other than that one place, let's find out. I'm gonna comment out this for a moment. I'm gonna see who else was using this, because if nobody else was, we'll change it. Actually, I think we'll change it regardless. We just need to know where to do it. All right. Good. Only one so far. If this is the only one, it's going to be so much easier. Wow. I mean, this thing's just a beast. OBS is having fun. But other than OBS, it's mostly Rust. What is this one? Discord? No. It moved. I guess so. Alright. I think it's just one place. Native script 184. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to change it. Well, Yeah, we're not going to use extend here. I mean, that would be nice, but it doesn't allow us to return the errors. And because we're only up for receiving one, what do we call this, a pair? Metaname value. We don't even need that. We just borrow it. Only doing one. Get rid of that. We don't have I anymore. We'll just call extend. I would like it to be a little bit different. I don't want it to look like an iterator or something that we can pass an iterator to. Add pair, something like that. It's a ref already. There. I wonder how they're returning SYN results other places. Okay, so they're just using result with SYN error. All right, and if we get to the end of this and everything is fine, we'll do that. Otherwise, we replace all of these panics with a proper error message. Return error. So we should be able to do a bunch of this. It's an error new, and we need to give it the span. And we'll give that AOU a span, and then our message is going to be a format. Escape, one, two of those. Okay. Now those AOUs are all down this. But each one of these I think is a little different. Oh, we could use pairs span here. That's not bad. Why don't we do that? We'll just use pair span. Oh, and I forgot to return on each one of those. All right. We can close that buffer. This one, yes, we're not dealing with the return error. Dot map error. So that it matches this down here. I'm glad we went through that workshop. It's making editing this a lot easier. I mean, I didn't do a great job in the workshop. It feels like you're jumping into a lot of an API, like a really big API, and you have to struggle through it in order to get familiar with the API. All right. So at this point, we should be able to get better error messages. Wow. Let's give it a test. GDNative is a lot of code, so the build takes a while. It's just generating so much code. I should use some like cut down API.json file for development. Why are those ignored? So like the NativeScript macros here that are being ignored. Where's the test that it's ignoring? Well, here, no, those aren't ignored. Line 8 and line 112. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, the docs. It's doing doc tests. There we go. Okay. Native script. Let's see. Let's add a test to this thing. Property header builder. Let's do it up one level from here. So not property args there. Native script. Kind of is. All right, we'll just parse derive input here. Test module, test. Derive property foo. Now where was it? Was it in sin? Parser, parse string. Oh, let's actually go to the sins tab. Parser, yes. Now we give it a string. Hey, Togglebit! I have not, man, I haven't been able to catch your stream live anymore because my schedule shifted. I've been doing all right. We went through the proc-macro workshop. Oh, and check this out. I spent some time organizing everything that's been exported. Well, I'll usually toss the stream on in the background while I'm working. I must admit, you sound fantastic at 1.5 to 2x speed. All right, so we do that. And in here, we're going to have some sort of derive. Something like this. Let's clean this up. There. Inherit, we're not really going to test at this point. We're going to test parse derive input. And get rid of user data as well. What was the other? There was something we're missing. Inherent resource? I mean, that could be it. I think I had been digging in the wrong spot for all this stuff. Because in this case, we're deriving native class, which is fine. But in here, we're inheriting from resource. I guess we could inherit from anything. So let's just create a struct foo. Right, and our struct is going to have a property on it. Boolean bar. Oh, I know you don't know what that is yet. It's okay. This is going to return a derived data and a token stream. Which, yeah, it's a result. So result is going to be equal to that for the test. Oh. Parser, yeah. It's a test, so we'll just unwrap it. Is that a token stream? That is a token stream. And that's a token stream, but this one's... Alright. So parse is on a proc-macro token stream. That's token stream 2. There. Now in this case, everything should have worked just fine. Assert equals res dot is okay. Now this is the happy path. Oh, that's just an assert. It's like you need two parameters here. Let's see. That should be good. And it failed. Okay. Where did it fail? Panicked at procedural macro API is used outside of procedural macro. Wah wah. Touche. Yes, we cannot call this function directly, but we could test anything inside of it. We extract it. So like this register callback, all this derived data here. That's what we're returning. Wait. That's not the proc-macro API. I mean, it's called by the proc-macro API. That's one level in. I think I'm passing in the wrong input. Technically, this token stream. So if we look at where this is called, not in the test, but here, it's a token stream, but I think it's the wrong kind of layer of token stream. Because at this point, we parse the input. I don't remember if through the exercises, sorry, I don't remember from the exercises whether or not the derived piece is here. I don't think it is, but I'm not sure. So why is it panicking here? Because if we just ignored that, let's ignore that. It won't do anything at the moment. It feels like we're doing proc-macros again, doesn't it? Like, something's wrong. Now we'll Boolean search through the code to figure out what. I mean, is it the input? I don't think it is, because that should just be a token stream. Is this parse derive that's special in some other way? Like, what is it about this that is throwing the error? I mean, sure, it takes a token stream. Does it need... there was something special about that. What was it? Proc-macro. As a consequence of being specific to procedural macros, nothing that uses proc-macro can be executed from a unit test. Ah. I see. Which means that this here should be a token stream 2. Yeah. Oh, I see, because we are taking the derive input here. Oh my goodness. Now, why is this actually expecting proc-macro token stream? Because parse macro input, I thought could work with either. Or sin. What was it? Parse macro input. Yeah, I think we should bubble this up. This should go up and out because this is not the right place. All right, take that. All right. So at this point, we can actually provide that input there. Now, what else was this using input for? I mean, if we're going to be shadowing that. Anything else? No, fine. We'll call it derive input. That's a derive input. We'll take ownership of that. This input is now derive input, but so that returns a token string, but now we need to do the parse macro input on that. Or let derive input Do I have this? I must have that backwards. Oh, yes, and just unwrap that. That should work. Excellent. Unwrap that. All right. Maybe a little less panic this time. Because we're still using. Wait. We're still using the wrong types there. Because that parse there takes a proc-macro token stream. We want something that can take a proc-macro to token stream. Use synparse2 instead. Difference only being one character, parse 2. Alright, that's a token stream 2. This here, derive input, is not from that. Send derive. Let's make sure it's not the parse 2. That should be working now. So that parse stir up here might be the culprit. No? Okay. We can make this a little bit faster in the iteration if we do one of these. Actually, alright, so something inside of there is actually using the proc-macro API. Which, okay, let's dig into that. So who's using token stream? Well, that is token stream 2. Anybody else using token stream? Okay, looks like that's going to pass. Oh, it was an error. Really? Totally not a spam bot. It's going pretty well. It's going pretty well. We're back in GDNative land. Oh, derived data cannot be formatted using that. Ooh. So if that's an error, how about we just unwrap it? This should tell us what error happened. Grazink, morning. I'm doing well. Check it out. I finally got around to setting up the YouTube channel for all of the archive streams. Oh, of course. Oh, you have a joke for me? Ooh. Let's have it. What do you call it when Batman skips church? Christian Bale. Oh. That's funny. All right, let's add that to your collection here. Oh, no inherit attribute found. All right. Oh. Derived property panicked. All right, which one? This is painful. Oh, it would have been inherit. Find path is ident. Inherit. So it used to be allowed here. Christian Bale. Speaking of Christian Bale, what an actor. I mean, he's not, I guess, best actor ever, but he's not kind of pigeonholed into like one kind of actor. I think of him more of a like a Harrison Ford than, let's say, Nicolas Cage, right? Nicolas Cage is like Nicolas Cage in every movie. I mean, they should just name his character as Nicolas Cage. I wish it would tell me exactly where I stepped in the procedural macro API. It's like, hey, you've got a little procedural macro API in your shoe there, buddy. But I don't know where I stepped. Where was it? I think the first not Nicolas Cage, Christian Bale movie that I thought, like, that's a good actor was is that the one we're doing? They got those big long coats on, and they're doing they're dodging bullets and stuff. Oh, what is it? Not American. Okay, I didn't see American Psycho first. Elysium? What do they call it? Tetragrammaton. Yeah, something like that. Like how there's a lot of text. Oh wow, there's stop it, go away. Alright, little wow, it's got a lot of stuff in here. There's American Psycho. Equilibrium. That's the first one I really like. It stood out to me. It's like, that's cool. And then I went, yeah, Machinist, Hell's Moving Castle, fantastic. Three-Ten to Yuma. That was a good one as well. Midsummer Night's Dream, hated it. Okay. Where's the other one that I absolutely loved? I thought it was after some of these. Still is a promise. Okay, yada yada. No, it's kind of in this range. The Machinist was great. Machinist, so like this movie here. I mean, just craziness he went through in order to like lose weight on this. It's fantastic. Love that film. Oh, you liked him in Ford versus Ferrari? I haven't seen that one. It's funny when I like close my eyes and I think Christian Bale voice, I hear his Batman voice, which sucks. But it also means that, you know, he's got a little range. Harrison Ford, I can hear Harrison Ford whenever I think Harrison Ford. Alright, so because we don't know exactly where we're stepping in proc-macro, it could be any one of these. I mean, is it the error type? No, it can't be the error type. Derived data is from sin. Right. Oh, that's ours. Derived native class. Ew. Guessing we got past the fields. We actually tried to construct this. Here's derived data. Alright, let's comment out some stuff. How about this one? And oh, we gotta leave properties there, don't we? They'll be used later. Yeah, equilibrium was fun in a cheesy way. Definitely agree. Alright, so if it's not that, it's got to be one of either these pieces here, or maybe the construction of it. There's no token stream on there, and the rest of it is just off of sin. Alright. I guess it could have been lower in parse derive. And it has to be. Because it was bailing there. What is this type here? It's off of sin, that should be fine. Is ident, that should also be off of sin. Is the code action working for me on Rust? Yeah, it's been pretty good. I'm not on the latest COC, actually. Could be, but... Oh no, there should be another update today, right? Or Rust Analyzer. So tomorrow I'll probably update. To compile error. What does that return? Does that return... Which token stream though? proc-macro token stream, which is fine. Another actor you like, you think is underrated, is John Cusack. Oh, interesting. John Cusack, huh? Nice. Oh, hold on a sec. Where was it? Oh, we got some more jokes. One windmill says to the other, "What kind of music do you like?" The other responds, I'm a big metal fan. uh. I mean, these all look fine so far. Syn parse. This type is a syn type. Producing that. This might... What is this taking it into? User data is syn type. What is struct? Syn derived data. Okay, so if it's a struct, compiler into, it's fine. So if we panic first, I don't know how to check where those, where we're stepping in proc-macro 1. All right. So yeah, looks like we're panicking, which is fine. All right. So panic isn't going to help us there. And we have no idea where inside of here we're actually using proc-mac 1. That's a good one. A big metal fan one. I mean, maybe it's because it's returning... Okay, we could return error early. Okay, because it used to return here. Let's go just above the properties and return. Mismatch types. Oh, that needs to be an error. Hey, Musean. Sync won't doesn't produce any proc macro types. Interesting. So basically, I'm trying to make this function here testable. Parse derive input. Okay. So now we changed the input here to be a derive input, which is parsed outside of this function. And this basically takes the other pieces apart. Now, when we get down to this point, the error hasn't occurred yet. But if we get down to maybe the bottom, the error was occurring. So either in the construction of this, we hit a proc-macro type, yeah, all the examples, we get it. I thought I had this set up to just do the tests. Cargo, test, tests. So lib. So we're in a workspace here. We have to do a -p on that. All right, we'll try that. So the check was okay there. Yeah, so when we actually run this test, it's failing. And we've isolated it down to kind of this line, this function. We're returning early here. And if we return here, because at the beginning this was succeeding, because we didn't have the inherit element here. So it was bailing out early. And then something through this list, because once we fix that error, something else is causing the error. Okay, what are we doing with the token stream 2? You can't use the parse macro. We're passing it in. Let's see. We get the ident off of it. We check to see if the path is inherit. This is where it was bailing before. 149. So that takes it into an, okay, here. So what's this type? Oh, I see. So if we do a parse 2 on it, then it's going to succeed. Wow. That's a good catch. $193 also. This is to the error type, and the error type should be a token stream 2. I think this one's okay. Oh, then it's basically a non-op then, isn't it? 193. A couple of these. Okay. That one. Okay. And then on the way out to the compiler, you convert it to the compile version. Gotcha. So send and quote produce token stream 2 types. Sync can work on either. The two functions work with public stable types. Var functions work with the compiler version. That makes a lot more sense now, because I kept looking at these functions that had parity. They looked identical, and I wasn't seeing what the difference was other than a 2 on them. We are writing tests. Good morning, Stone Cold Man. I say, well, proc-macro 2 is backward compatible to 1.15. Wow. Unexpected argument with setter. property args. Hey, look at that. So we also removed a bunch of panics. So most of these are just fine now. In fact, we forgot to change this one. Oh, what were we using for this? And what is it that's actually saying, no, you can't use this outside of a proc macro? That it feels like the compiler, but it doesn't. I don't necessarily understand when it's happening, because it feels like also the code is going through, but maybe it's during like when it's scanning the output of this. Like if you are using any of this outside of the proc macro, kind of when it looks at the generated code, that's when it does it. Unexpected argument. What's better? Oh, lovely. Okay. So when it's building the test binaries, it sees that you're referencing an internal crate that isn't valid at that point. That makes so much sense. Okay. All right, now for our test here. Property with setter. I forget what we're looking for. Set after. Oh, I see. So we could toss something on there like before get, something like that. Tests are just binaries. So you can't just use the proc-macro crate in a binner lib or test crate. It has to be a special proc-macro crate, which is why you can't just write derives in the same crate as where the trait is defined. Compiler can with the macro keyword, but we won't get that for a long time. Gotcha. Okay. So if I run this again, everything should still work. Oh, this is cool. And I hope we can get some better errors out of this. Notice pub macro. Let's look. Oh, wow. Well, that's pretty cool. Now, code isn't there, but one day you can just write a macro, your attribute args. Wow. Oh, that'd be neat. That will be nice. All right. So if we do this, so if I wanted to check that the error was correct, and I didn't want to pull in that other crate, I mean, the other crate seems like it's quote unquote the way to test these things. What was it? Test. Try build. Oh, that's it. Try build. Because without this, testing the failures is going to be a chore. Oh, nice. So I might try to pull that in and add some failure tests, etc., to the macros, and try to remove some more of the panics from the proc-macros. Add some tests on it too. But I can see that if we're doing it this way, then we probably don't need the rest of the changes that we just went through. Well, it's a fun exercise though. We'll have to see. Cool. You can still unit test the models. It's true. Okay, so maybe keep both of them then. It would be nice to have proper error messages with these. Okay, so tomorrow probably pulling try build in so we can test the error messages. And then going through and kind of eradicating some more of the panics, the unwraps that were happening in there. Oh wow, we've got a ton of Rust streamers on right now. All right, anybody have a favorite? I think we might try to raid Gamozo. Oh, Eric. Eric.dev? All right. I have to cancel it. All right, y'all. Well, until next time. Bye-bye.